What's up mga kagandang guru? In today's video, we are going to interview 3 students in the BSE Science 1A for us to fully understand the formal operational stages in the cognitive development. In this video, we're going to ask 3 students, which is Jake, Claire, and Michaela, for us to understand the hypothetical, the analogical, and deductive reasonings, which are the characteristics of a formal operational stages. What are we waiting for? Let's start. Pew! Ayan mga kagandang guro, nandito na tayo for our first interviewee, which is Miss Claire Cesarbo, which is a recently 18 years old girl. For us to fully understand the hypothetical reasoning, we're going to ask her a question which is hypothetical. And Miss Claire, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Yeah. So our question is, if you have a loaf of bread, or you are baking a loaf of bread hypothetically, and the first batch of the bread turns burn hypothetically, how will you make the second batch not burn?
Thank you, Mr. Jacob, and good morning. And given the situation, I think the bread burned because of recklessness and excessive heat. Hypothetically, I am a first-time baker and I am not much aware of what are the right tool that I'm going to use. And then, I am not aware also that in baking, it needs a lot of effort and time to make such an easy bread like that, so that I will make sure that I will use the right process such as right tools and measurement of ingredients, and I will limit the amount of heat conducted while I'm baking.
Thank you for that wonderful answer, Miss Claire. And now that we see the hypothetical reasoning, let's move on for the next part, which is the analogical reasoning. Ayan mga kagandang guro, we are now in our second batch of the interview, which is Miss
Michaela,
Yan, si Miss Michaela Ubas, which is a 19 or 18 years old, right?
18.
Yeah, she's a female girl, of course. And now we're going to study the formal operational stages, which is the analogical reasoning in her part, as we question her in this board. So in the board, we have 3 sets of pictures, and one is missing, Miss Michaela. The question is, what follows the given analogy? The first set of pictures is a boy and a girl. The next is the sun and the moon. And the last is the cat and a blank. So Miss Michaela, these are the choices that you will have. First is a butterfly. Next, a dog. And lastly, a squirrel. What do you think follows the analogy?
I think I will choose the dog.
The dog?
Yes.
Great answer.
I choose dog because as the given analogy, it is a boy and a girl, both human, sun and a moon. Moon gives light to the earth, and especially cat and a dog, which obviously is dog is the opposite of the cat, and then as you can see, both of them are domestic animals, but differs in color. Thank you.
Great answer, Miss Michaela. Now you see, this is the analogical reasoning which we can see in Miss Michaela's point of view. So now that we're done with the analogy, let's go and move on for the last part of the formal operational stages characteristic, which is the deductive reasoning. Ayan mga kagandang guro, we are now in the third part of our interview, which is Mr. Jake L. Kilantang, which is a 20 years old boy, and he reaches the last stages of the formal operational, which is the adulthood. Now, Mr. Jake, I will going to ask you questions about deductive reasonings. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. This is the questions for you. If all men are mortal, and Jake is a man, therefore Jake is a mortal. A. Both statements are true, therefore the conclusion are true. Number 2, or letter B, the first statement is true, but the second statement is false. Therefore the conclusion is false. In letter C, both statements are false, therefore the conclusion is false. What do you think is the right answer?
So for me, the right answer is the letter A.
Why?
Because biologically speaking, all men are bound to die. That's how the man's bodies work. Men are tied and connected with death. So therefore, men are mortal. So in general, Jake is a man. He is a human being. Therefore, Jake is immortal. So in conclusion, following the logic, Jake is immortal because he is indeed a man and a human being.
Yeah, thank you for answering the deductive reasoning, Mr. Jade Gilantang. And this is the end of our video. And thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye! What the, did you learn? Did you learn? Yarn!